Welcome to Pick Six with Geno Bisconte and Jeffrey Paul. I am Jeffrey Paul. Geno Bisconte will be joining us very shortly. And this is a new show. This is a new show where every week Geno and I will pick three games each, hence the name Pick Six. So we'll pick three games each and we'll give you the spread. We'll give you the reason behind why we're making these picks. And we'll comment on them. And along the way, we'll have a couple of guests call in, maybe making their suggestions, maybe making their picks. This is the first week of the NFL, obviously. And week one is always, I think, the toughest week to pick, aside maybe from week 17, which teams are going to be sitting starters. But week one is, you don't know who some of these teams are. Are the Dolphins going to be a complete train wreck, or are they going to surprise people? I mean, they still have a very potent offense as long as that quarterback stays healthy. Is Devin a chain? The running back what kind of player is he going to be in the first week? We keep hearing about a calf injury with him. Let me pull up here a couple of games where last year it would have been easy to pick these games. This year, who knows? Like, I'll give you one as we wait for Geno to come on. But I'll give you one. Tennessee against the Broncos. If this is week 14 or 15 of last season, this is an easy pick. This is almost a blowout type of game. I don't know what this pick is going to be here. Has anyone seen Cam Ward as a starting quarterback in the NFL? We don't know what this guy's going to be. We also know that they have a big offensive lineman. I believe that they picked up last year. Who was it? Latham. They do have a running game with Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. They do have a passing game. They have with them Calvin Ridley. They have Tyler Lockett. So, I mean, you don't know. And Denver, what's Bo Nix going to be in year two? Is he going to progress? Is there going to be regression now that the league has real tape on him and a year to prepare? So I think all these factors make it a little difficult to pick in week one. Another game that I kind of like, man, and I'm not giving anything away yet. So I haven't made my picks. I'm not tipping off who my picks are. I don't know what Geno's picks are going to be. But I think another game that I look at is I'm looking at Tampa and the Falcons. And here's the reason why. I'm sometimes a little apprehensive on a team like the Falcons, of Tampa Bay, is because Tampa is returning some personnel. Chris Godwin won't be ready for a couple of weeks. You'll have a full year starter of Bucky Irving, who I think, listen, if you're a fantasy football player, this is a guy I think who can win you a league. I think he's going to be great. But they're also not returning their offensive coordinator, Liam Cohn, and he wound up becoming the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So what do they lose with that? Do they lose that continuity? Do they lose that play calling? Or is the next guy who's taking over better? You don't know. So that's what I'm saying. Week one is always historically a tougher week to choose. But there are a lot of interesting games on the slate for week one. So if you go down the line, okay, so we're recording this on Wednesday night, the day before the opening game of the season. First game off right off the block tomorrow night. You have the Philadelphia Eagles at home getting their Super Bowl rings against the hated and somewhat stupid Dallas Cowboys. And with divisional games, how do these games play out? Man, I think I'll talk about my picks once Geno comes on, because I don't want to give anything away. But I think some of these games could be, man, they're trying another game, and I'm sure Geno's going to comment on this because he is a big Chargers fan. How about the Chargers and Kansas City Friday night in Brazil? And does anyone know what the Chargers are going to be in year 2 under Harbaugh? They lost their starting left tackle Slater. Kansas City lost in free agency their top starting tackle as well. So I don't know what these teams are going to look like in week 1. Here's one I'm not going to give that away. There's a couple of other games here that also don't want to give too much away. But what happened? This is an interesting game. It's on the slate. What do we think about the Texans against the Rams? We hear out of training camp all these rumors, all these reports that Matt Stafford is not in the best of health. How bad is he? Because what's this? What happened if I didn't? No, Geno, that doesn't work. Hold on a second, folks. I told him to jump on. So the thing here is Geno is he's in upstate in the Catskills at Villa Roma. And he's got a big show, this big gig with the compound people. Chrissy Mayer put that together. So he was supposed to jump on like now, and he's kind of like caught up. Okay, so let me get back to these games. And we were talking about the Texans and the Rams. So yeah, I don't know what the Rams are going to be. I don't. Again, you have all the experts, you have all the greatest prognosticators. We are not getting the real information coming out of these training camps. Okay, why? You're not tipping your hand. So I'll tell you, I didn't pick this game, but I'll give you a free one right now. I like the Texans. I like the Texans at home against the Rams to cover that spread. I think the Texans are going to be. I think they should be better this year. I think that defense is a top 5 defense. I like Stroud to bounce back in year 3. Also, with the Rams, I'm not high on Karen Williams. I'm not high on him in fantasy this year. I have no part of him in any of my teams. I have about 7 teams. I didn't go near him in a draft. And I don't know if in real life I'm kind of like the Rams running game either. Again, that the offensive line is not their strong suit, but we will see. Okay. I'm not sure what Geno Bisconte is doing here. Again, this is our first one. But maybe I should make a couple of picks. I'll give you some picks. And then let's see if Geno jumps on. And then I think we do have a special guest who's jumping in. Okay. So my first pick of the week. And I'm going to pick 3 games. And you know what? Because Geno is not here, I'm going to give you 2 extras as well. All right. So first pick of the game of my week. You have Lions at the Packers. The Lions getting 2.5 points. Here's my pick. I like the Lions. I like the Lions getting 2.5, and here's why. First off, Packers make the big trade. Is Micah Parsons playing? Supposedly that back injury is not fake. Again, I know I just said you can't listen to what comes out of camp, but he's supposedly has already had 2 epidurals in his back. They just picked him up, a week ago? Okay, so what's the cohesiveness in implement them into that defense? Maybe if he's healthy, a couple of weeks down the road, the Packers defense looks a lot different or plays a lot different than it will on week 1. But again, on week 1, you're not sure. Here's something else I also know is that last year, the Packers were 0-6 against teams with 11 wins, okay, or more. They were also, and I don't know if people realize this. Now look at the division that the Packers are in. They are in the NFC North. Okay, where you have the Lions, the Bears, and the Vikings. What was their record last year in that division? I'll tell you, 1-5. The Lions, yeah, I know they lost their offensive coordinator, and I know that they lost their defensive coordinator. Okay, but this is what else I know. I know there's a lot of talent on that team. I know that they got Aiden Hutchinson back. So you know what? I think this is a pretty easy one for me. And so my first pick is going to be take the Lions, give the 2.5. As I always say, you're welcome. My second pick, and I can't believe I am doing this. I never take New York teams. I try not to bet New York teams. But I have a feeling this year on a New York team. And people who know me, people who follow me, know what kind of a Jet fan I am. I'm taking the Giants this week. I'm taking the Giants getting 5.5 points at the Commanders. Yes, the Commanders ended the season great. I'm not talking about the NFC Championship game. I'm talking about the regular season, how they played in the playoffs overall. Listen, Philly was on a roll. No one was beating them in the playoffs last year. Let's be honest. I know the Rams came close, but after that was it. They steamrolled the Commanders. They destroyed the Chiefs. We all saw the game. Okay, but how do you think the Giants did against the Commanders last year? Okay. Yeah, I know the Giants had a miserable year. They went what 3-13? Was that the record last year? 3-13. They played the Commanders, the team that went to the playoffs, that went to the NFC Championship game. They lost both games by a combined score of 8 points. The Giants can hang with the Commanders. I'm telling you that right now. I think that defense, especially the front 7. I think they are really good. Okay, I think they have the chance to be a top 5 defense in the NFL this year. I love the addition of Abdul Carter. Can put him in there with Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Thibodeau. The edge pass rusher out of Oregon, Bobby Okereke. Listen, man, that's a pass rush that they don't have to blitz, and they can still put pressure on quarterbacks. Plus, they picked up 2 new additions in the defensive backfield, and they have a rookie from last year who played well. I like the Giants' defense a lot. Can they force teams to turn the ball over? Absolutely. I absolutely believe that they can do that. I think they can keep games close enough. They have a veteran quarterback. I'll take Russell Wilson over Daniel Jones, especially the version of Daniel Jones we saw last year. I'll take that. I think he has weapons that he can use. Again, Neighbors is what you have to say he's a top five, okay, top six receiver in the league. I like their running game. I like the rookie last year, Tyrone Tracy. I love the guy who they picked this year, Cam Scatterboo. Um, even the tight end last year, Theo Johnson. I thought he was a sneaky player, and no one talks about Slayton, Darius Slayton. I think the Giants keep this game tight. I do. I don't think maybe they'll lose it on a field goal, maybe because the Commanders are at home. But I like the Giants. Take the Giants in the 5.5. You're welcome. All right. Let's go for my third pick. And my third pick here is I like the Bengals on the road against the Cleveland Browns, getting 5.5. Here's the reason why. Is it just me, or does anyone else think that the Bengals learned their lesson last year about coming out unprepared, flat in week one? Last year, the Patriots were supposed to be terrible. They weren't that good last year, right? Okay, they didn't have a great head coach. They had a rookie head coach going on the road to play the Bengals, the big mighty Bengals. Okay, the Bengals come out, they couldn't score. They scored 10 points against the New England defense. Are you kidding me? Okay, with Joe Burrow as the quarterback. Stop it. Okay, I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think the Bengals have to make a statement. I think this year they have to make the playoffs. Okay, because if they don't, want to be 3 years in a row with that talent plus the money that organization just tied up in Jamar Chase, in Burrow, in T. Higgins, and the pass rusher Trey Hendrickson. No. This is an easy one. 5.5. I only have to give you 5.5. I think the Bengals win this game over the Browns by more than a touchdown. Yeah, this is easy. Again. By the way, with the Cleveland offense, who am I? Just please, could someone tell me who I'm supposed to be afraid of? Am I afraid of Joe Flacco? You mean Aaron Rodgers moves in the pocket better than Joe Flacco? A statue of Joe Flacco moves in the pocket better than Joe Flacco. He's 41? 41. I don't understand the Cleveland organization, but this is also an organization in this year's draft that took not one, but two quarterbacks in the draft with the number 3 and number 5 picks. So that means one of those picks are going to be a waste of time. I don't get it. Their big running back, who's the guy, the kid from Ohio State. I don't know if he's even playing. So would that mean that Jerome Ford is the starting running back this week? And their big, deep threat. Now, he had a good year last year, and he's a talented receiver. But come on, man. I mean, is is Jerry Jeudy that much of a game breaker? Could a smart defensive coordinator put a safety, on Judy's side to give that corner a little extra help, and then who you have to look out for? Cedric Tillman? Nah, no, man. Easy one. Give me the Bengals 5.5. Okay, I'm giving 5.5. I'm taking the Bengals over the Browns, even though it is a Browns home game. Two bonus picks here. I hate to do this. I had picked the Giants over the Commanders. I am taking and giving 3. I'm taking the Steelers over the New York Jets. I know it's a Jet home game. I know it's debut of Aaron Glenn. But I think with the news that came out today of Veritucka being out, he looks like he's going to be out for the year. This is supposed to be the start of his 5th year. This is now his 3rd major injury. He missed time in 2002, 2003. He played last year. No, man. They have to put a backup in right away. I don't know. I don't know about the Jets. I don't know if Aaron Glenn is going to be a good head coach. I don't know. I know he's a rookie head coach. I know the Jets have a rookie offensive coordinator who came over. He was the passing coordinator from the Lions. It's different when you move into the big boy seat and you have to call that offense. So I don't know about the Jets. This is what I do know. I know that Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in the NFL. I know he is one of the best head coaches in the NFL. Some Steelers fans may disagree with me, but let me tell you something. After being a Jeff fan, I take Mike Tomlin in a heartbeat. Okay, I'd go to Pittsburgh, pick him up, drive him back if I knew he was going to be my head coach. Not saying that Aaron Glenn can't be good. I think maybe he could. I'm hoping that he will. But as Jeff fans, we've seen this movie before. We saw Todd Bowles, a rookie head coach, defensive coordinator, okay, have one good year and then fall flat on his face. We saw, who was it? Robert Saleh, rookie head coach, defense coordinator, fall flat on his face. I don't know what Aaron Glenn's getting. Hopefully he'll be different. Maybe 3rd time's the charm here. And who am I getting a message from now? We have a guy who's supposed to call in. He's Jim the Jet fan. As we're talking about the Jets right now, he is Jim the Jet fan, and he's calling. He's supposed to be calling from Pennsylvania, but he's having a little bit of a hard time. This is some hell of a debut on this show. My co-host hasn't joined yet, and our caller is having a hard time logging in. It's okay. I think I'm doing pretty good by myself. Okay, Adam, would you say I'm doing pretty good by myself?
I think you're doing pretty well.
Okay, thank you. I get that vote of confidence, and Adam, who produces all our shows, he's one of the best producers out there. If he says I'm doing okay, I'm doing okay. And Geno just texted, he'll be on in 2 minutes. So we'll get to those two guys in a couple of seconds. I'll give you my last extra pick of the week. Again, this is a funny thing. I'm taking all road dogs. Can you imagine that, Adam? I'm taking all road dogs this week.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, that's crazy, right? And here's the one. I think you'll agree with me on this one. I am taking the Cardinals, giving 6.5 to the Saints. Why, are the Cardinals world beaters? No, they're not world beaters. I do like the Cardinals, and I do have a sneaky suspicion that they may get in as the 7th team in the NFC. I think they do make the playoffs this year. However, the Saints are pathetic. As bad as the Raiders quarterback room was last year, that's the Saints this year. But also with no Max Crosby on defense, okay? So no real defensive stud on that team either. Does anyone know? Adam, you're a smart guy. Do you know who the Saints starting quarterback is this week?
Oh, I haven't even taken a look yet. Who is it?
Yeah. Well, do you even know? Can you name? You don't have to be a star. Can you name a quarterback on the Saints?
Let me see. On the Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
You can't. Do you remember who their first round draft pick was this year? It was Tyler Shaw. He's not the starter. The starter is Spencer Rattler. Yes, the same Spencer Rattler who last year completed 57% of his pass completions. Wow, I'd be really scared if I'm the Arizona Cardinals defense. This is a guy who was 0-6 as a starter, and his big stats are 4 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Guys, give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. I'll give this 5.5 points. Okay, screw the Saints. I'm taking the Cardinals. And now, when I needed people before, nobody's there. Now I get these two jabronis who chime in, at the same time. We got Jim, the Jeff fan from Pennsylvania, and my co-host on this, the very handsome, okay, the very lovely, okay, the very feminine, Geno Bisconte. How are you, Geno?
Sorry, I'm great. I'm great. I'm at this content house thing this week. I didn't realize what a to-do it was. I thought I could squeeze this in. We're good to go from the studio next week. I just came in I think one of the games I loved, and it's for different reasons, was the Saints, was the Cardinals. I know, and I even said, I'm like, I do my Geno's picks, and I said, look, I know I'm telling you to lay 7 points on a road team that won 8 games last year. But the Saints literally have defensive coordinator Brandon Staley, who has no business being in football. The only reason he's there is it was a favor. He was a favor from Kellen Moore, who got to be his defensive coordinator, OC, when they blew that 27-point lead to the Jags. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's Lombardi, the OC's fault. So, of course, he paid him back. And why did Kellen Moore even get the job? Oh, well, he's the Eagles OC, please. He had the job of every woman every Sunday to stay out of the effing way. That's what he did there. And now he's running a team with Brandon Staley. I love the Cardinals in that one.
Me too. All right. So I gave a pick before, and I want Jim to comment on it, and then you as well, Geno. I hate doing this. I hate doing it because I said I'm a Jeff fan, but I am taking the Steelers. No problem giving 3 points to the Steelers. To the Jets. I'm taking the Steelers over the Jets, even though it's a Jet home game. Jim, the Jet fan, what do you say?
I totally disagree.
Okay, good analysis.
Give me more.
I'm a deep well, fellas. I can't look too far into this, or else I'll just slip into way too early in the season Jets depression. So I got the Jets winning this game.
Yeah, but why? Because they lost their starting guard. And what is it about the Jets that gets you excited?
What are you talking about?
Vera Tucker's out for the season.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're lying. What?
I'm not lying.
This happened today? This had to happen today, right?
This happened today.
It did happen today. He gets hurt all the time. I think something like the muscle came off the bone in his arm.
I mean, oh man, he was having a good camp.
He was having a great camp. Yep. And
but he gets hurt a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, yes, he does. You're not wrong about that, Geno. Which also, Geno, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure, my friend.
So I just got finished saying that this is Vera Tucker's 5th year. This is also his option year. Okay, he has been injured. This is now the 3rd time in 5 years that he is injured. He will not get paid next year. Okay, he missed almost all of the 2022 and 23 seasons.
That's terrible.
They can't stay on the field.
That's terrible. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, yes, he's very injury prone. However, when somebody comes out and has a really strong camp, I mean, maybe that's the Jets fan in me where I'm like, this is the season this guy's going to put it all together. He's going to stay super healthy. We're going to protect the new quarterback, fortify the line. And you're telling me, I had chores to do today, and now there's a gaping hole in the offensive line. Jets. Jets.
Yeah, more like just gaping. It's gaping. Geno, give me another pick. I'll tell you if it's something that I already had.
The Texans getting 3 to the Rams. Oh my God, I love the Texans. I love the Texans getting points in this one. I do. You got Stafford, who's playing. Finally, they're announcing he's playing with a sore back. I don't know if we're on YouTube, but I'll tell you. He loses Alaric Johnson. Alaric Johnson is his left tackle, the guy on his blind side. He's missed most of the past 2 years with blood clots. I don't know where they came from. Oh yeah, the vaccine. So my point is, the only thing harder than getting through the Rams' offensive line to the quarterback are his red blood cells getting through his veins to his heart. And when you lose that, you lose a lot. And Stafford will be playing nervous. And I love the Texans getting 3 points against a very shaky Rams team that had a very shaky preseason.
I like Will Anderson going off in this game. I think he's going to lead the week in tackles this week. I am not big on Karen Williams as a running back. Even in fantasy, he was so touchdown dependent. But even in real life football, I think the Rams are going to have to win through the air. Do you think Matt Stafford is going to be able to stretch out plays? No way. No way.
He never plays in the preseason. Like, McVay started that, although LaDainian Tomlinson never played in the preseason, but he benched all the starters. But this is a different Stafford we're looking at. This is a Stafford who's like, what am I doing here? And he loses Cooper Kupp. Don't get me wrong. He has all those weird names, Puka Nakua, Tutu Atwell, and, of course, Devontae. But it's just a question of how ready are they for this game? And the other thing, now that they've moved to an 18-game season with just 2 preseason games, you cannot convince me the first 2 weeks of regular season are kind of an extended preseason, and you don't know what to expect. I'm not expecting the Rams to go too hard in this game. I really like the Texans getting points.
I like the Texans as well. Hey, Jim, is the Jets your best bet of the week? Who would you say is your best bet?
I think that the Jets are high probability. Well, that's changed as of I just walked into the room and now I'm all bummed out, dude. I had no idea that we lost a key player. And frankly, it almost feels like, well, there's that shoe that, you're waiting to drop, right? I mean, I remember when Fields was hobbling around with a toe injury and everybody was like, here we go again. What's it going to be? So here's the first big injury. So now I guess – I'm going to stick with the Jets winning because I'm just super positive. But that's a real buzzkill, man.
You're super positive for CTE if you're pretty sure the Jets are going to win. I'm telling you right now, Justin Fields stinks. Talk me out of that.
The only thing I can say
but
is
we're coming off of Rodgers, which was this entire situation where it almost feels like it's still a cleanse. Where if he doesn't throw a lot, and I think that had a lot to do with the offensive line, it still does. But if they run a run heavy offense, I don't see how Fields really, so long as he's not throwing the ball a ton. I mean, how much?
But that's the whole point. They're going to stack the box with 9 or 10 guys and make Justin Fields beat them, and he can.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so washed out with what we've had that I see a fresh face. I'm that guy that's the next quarterback or whatever. I mean, and it gets old after a while. Maybe a serviceable guy that you don't depend on to do everything like some of the guys we've put in there. They've just been such a revolving door of unsuccessful.
Good night.
Okay, guys, we're little. Who's that?
It's my buddy.
Hey, what's up, buddy? So we're a little limited on time. We got to start to wrap this up, and we'll have more time next week. You have to make. Let's give your best bet of the week. What's your best bet going to be? What do you say, Geno? What's your best bet of the week?
My best bet of the week, and I think everyone is tomorrow night. Eagles, I know the line's up to 8.5, and I still love that bet. I mean, Dallas not only has not this is the joke I did in Geno's picks, and it's so funny. God forgive me for saying that. I don't mean it's so funny, hilarious. I find it funny, but it's so funny because it's true. It's who do they have? They have Dak Prescott on offense, right? If he's back up to speed, and he's always you don't know which quarterback you're getting, but let's say he's playing his best game. Who does he have to throw it to besides CeeDee Lamb? No one.
George Pickens.
Pickens stinks. Pickens was thrown out of Pittsburgh. Friggin' what's his name? Javonte Williams washed out of Denver. It's so funny his name is C.D. Lamb because he's the only one on offense who's above a C or a D. I love the Eagles in this one.
That's your best bet of the week. How about you, Jim? Best bet.
Well, I guess I'm not gonna. Now my whole Jets thing's off. I feel like yet again. I feel like an absolute tool for being a Jets fan, trying to be positive. Key player while I'm running errands is out for the season. So how about the Ravens play the Bills for week 1? Correct.
They do.
I like the Ravens in that game.
Okay, that's a
I like
pretty
the
good
Ravens in that game.
And I gave this pick before, but I'll give it to you, the two of you, so you know who I picked. My best bet of the week is I love the Bengals giving 5.5 over the Browns. There is no way that they come out soft in week 1 again. Not like last year. The Browns have nothing. I know they have Myles Garrett on coming off the edge, and they got the rookie Mason Graham. But I still love the Bengals getting 5.5. Gina, I got to ask you before we go. Big game on Friday night. Your Chargers against the Chiefs in Brazil. Who do you like?
If you're telling me the Chargers are getting 3.5, I like the Chargers. I think the Chargers always play them close, and second year is when Jim Harbaugh turns things on. But again, this is all going to come down to, I love that the Chargers went out and got Keenan Allen. I love that, Lad McConkey is back playing the way he plays. But until they get Quentin Johnson out, until they admit he's a piece of garbage shit, until they admit that, he single-handedly turned around that Texans playoff game. We don't have enough time for that. But it's going to this Omarion Hampton kid is going to be mostly on his shoulders because Najee Harris is a don't even make me say it. He hurt his eye with fireworks. This is a team that has a lot of potential. They're a run-first team, and one of the most underrated best runners is Herbert. They should be able to lose by less than 3.5. Do I want them to win as a fan? Hell yeah. Do I think it's time they turned it around and won? Hell yeah. Does it help that they don't have Rashee Rice? Hell yeah. But nothing's going to make a difference till the Chargers believe they can beat the Chiefs. If they believe they can beat the Chiefs, they're going to win. But whether they believe it or not, they're going to lose by less than 3.5. I will tell you that. Give me the Chargers.
Okay, I think the Chargers can win the game outright.
Well, you're a more optimistic fan than me. I'm like the inverse of our boy. It's like they've hurt me so many times, I just can't let it go.
Yeah, no,
I'm not saying that they're going to win. I just said I think they could win. Yes, but I do think they could win the game outright. It wouldn't shock me. I think it's a good pick. What is the line up to 4 now?
What's that?
Is the line up to 4?
I thought it was 3.5. Last I saw it was 3.5.
You know what? I'll still take it. All right, listen. We had a hard out here. So these are our picks. My best bet is Bengals over the Browns. Geno loves Texans over the Rams, and Jim is sticking with the Jets. Okay, let's see how that works out for us next week. Next week, we will be in the studio. We'll have Geno the whole time. This is, like I said, this is our first episode. We'll have Jim calling in with his Jet take, and we'll see everybody next week. All right.
Apologies for getting here late. I can't wait to be in the studio with you next week, my man.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Late.
All right.